How are you? Welcome to Comic Kong, and today we'll be looking at the Batman supervillain, Two-Face. If you ask any die-hard DC fan what Two-Face's real name is, they'll say Harvey Dent. And it is, but it wasn't originally. When he first appeared, his name was Harvey Kent. However, writers were worried that he'd get mixed up with Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent. Because as we all know, Superman and Two-Face look exactly the same. And that is the first fact about Two-Face. Let's dive in. He debuted in Detective Comics 66 in 1942. In his debut comic, he hijacked a double-decker bus. Harvey has been mentally fragile since he was a child after suffering abuse from his father. Although he grew up to be very successful, he was always on edge. After Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered by Joe Chill, he vowed revenge on the gangster. Bruce practiced with prop guns for weeks, preparing to kill his parents' murderer. When Bruce's butler, Alfred, found these guns, he sent Bruce to an institute for traumatized children. While he was there, Bruce met Harvey Dent. While he was institutionalized with Bruce Wayne, the pair made a pact. Dent said he would kill Joe Chill if Bruce Wayne killed Dent's father. Since Dent had no personal relationship with Chill and Bruce had no relationship with Dent's father, they believed they would never be tied to the murder. Obviously, Bruce Wayne did not go along with this because, he's not a jerk. Harvey eventually became a district attorney. While prosecuting the crime boss Sal Maroni in court for murder, Harvey revealed a double-headed coin that belonged to Maroni. Since the coin was found at the crime scene, Harvey said that this proved that Maroni was the killer. Enraged, Maroni pulled a hidden vial of acid from his jacket and hurled its contents at Harvey's face. Not only did it scar half his face, but it caused Harvey's mind to snap, turning him into the villain Two-Face. Two-Face has a split personality known as dissociative identity disorder. He has two personalities that have equal footing in Harvey's mind, leaving him incapable of making a choice. He relies on the flip of a coin to make decisions. Before his disfigurement, Harvey's nickname was Apollo, the god of the sun, because of his good looks. When Harvey was disfigured, he was nicknamed Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings and endings. Batgirl once defeated Two-Face by stealing all his coins. Since he can only make a decision based on the flip of a coin, he was left utterly helpless. He is immune to Poison Ivy's pheromone control. It is uncertain why. Although Two-Face is one of the most iconic Batman villains, he was not popular for decades as he was considered too frightening for young readers. He only appeared 3 times in the 1940s and twice in the 1950s. He never showed up once in the 1966 Batman TV series, and he didn't become popular until the late 1960s. It's also worth mentioning that when he was being considered for the TV show, he would have been played by a young Clint Eastwood. The character was created by Bill Finger and Bob Kane. They also created Batman, Robin, and the Joker. One thing that sounds like a bit of a plot hole with Two-Face is, why doesn't he just get surgery to fix his face? But that's the thing. In the comics, he did get his face fixed 3 issues after he debuted. And if you think that fact is weird, during the 1940s and 1950s, there were 5 different Two-Faces. After Harvey got his face fixed, another Two-Face mysteriously appeared in Gotham. Batman discovered that this Two-Face was Harvey's butler, Wilkins. An actor called Paul Sloan was supposed to play Two-Face in a film. He suffered an accident which scarred half his face. In a rage, he became the third Two-Face and dedicated his life to crime. There was a fourth Two-Face called George Blake. However, Blake didn't have facial scars. Instead, he wore makeup on his face and pretended to be Harvey in order to frame him. Blake was easy to catch since he applied the makeup on the wrong side of his face. The fifth Two-Face was Harvey Dent. He has been the official Two-Face ever since. Depending on the artist, his scarred face can be purple, red, brown, green, or blue. In the 1980s, Harvey Dent's backstory was revised, so he never got plastic surgery after the acid attack. In this version, he tracked down Paul Sloan after Dent heard he was playing Two-Face for a movie. To help Sloan get into character, Two-Face scarred Sloan's face beyond repair. Sloan went insane and became the supervillain, Charlatan. He has killed several supervillains like Magpie, Ventriloquist, and Orca. When Two-Face was institutionalized, doctors replaced his coin with a dice so he could have 6 choices instead of 2. This was eventually replaced with a turret deck, hoping it would curb his compulsion for violence. Unfortunately, it made him incapable of the most basic choices like going to the bathroom. Not only does he have DID, Two-Face also has obsessive-compulsive disorder and is obsessed with the number 2. He tends to make choices at 10:22, which is 2222 in military time, and carries 2.22 semi-automatic guns. He also has 2 double-barrel shotguns. I'm pretty sure you can't aim with 2 double-barreled shotguns. I mean, the blast of one would knock you back. This is terribly unrealistic. Before Harvey Dent became Two-Face, he was nicknamed One-Face. How absurdly ironic. Shortly after he became a supervillain, he received training from Deathstroke to help him become an excellent sharpshooter. He was also trained in hand-to-hand combat by Batman. In another universe, Harvey Dent is Superman. Despite the fact that does not look like Superman or Harvey Dent, I promise you, it is both. There's a Two-Face from another universe called Evelyn Dent. She is more well known as Three-Face due to having three personalities: Irrational Eve, Practical Eve, and Hedonistic Eve. Okay, I don't know why, but it looks like her makeup is of the Irish flag. What's that about? He is a master in all matters pertaining to criminal law. When he was a respectable district attorney, he took down Carmen the Roman Falcone, who was considered to be the most untouchable mob boss in all of Gotham. Falcone sent a gangster called the Mink to kill Harvey Dent. This led to Harvey forming a triumvirate with Batman and Commissioner James Gordon. This was incorporated into the movie The Dark Knight. He is colorblind in his bad eye. Two-Face is based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, a lot of people can dismiss Two-Face by saying, at the end of the day, he's just a guy with no powers. You can just punch him really hard or shoot him. But Harvey Dent is not to be underestimated. You see, many criminals don't stay in jail in Gotham for very long because the city is corrupt, so juries and judges can be bribed or threatened and evidence can be tampered or destroyed. Before he was a supervillain, Dent was the best district attorney in Gotham. Since becoming Two-Face, he has built legal cases against every single criminal in Gotham. When Batman pursued Two-Face, he promised he would release the cases he made against the Gotham underworld unless Batman was killed. As a result, every criminal under the sun desperately tried to kill Batman to avoid jail time or being sentenced to death. Two-Face flips a coin to decide whether his victim lives or dies. However, if the person lives, that doesn't mean they walk away unharmed. Usually, if the coin lands on the good side, Two-Face will shoot them in the spine, paralyzing them for life. Two-Face does this because he's a jerk. IGN rated the top 100 greatest comic book villains of all time and ranked Two-Face at number 12. Batman said that Two-Face is the villain he fears the most. This is probably because he watched his friend Harvey Dent become the murderous Two-Face. Because of this, Batman can still be blinded by his former friendship to Harvey to see the true monster that he's become. Originally, Two-Face's deformed skin was green, so it wouldn't look too disturbing to young readers. His skin was drastically altered in the 1970s. In this issue, he looks more like a burn victim. He still looks like this in modern comics. Sometimes he is a kangaroo court for his victims. A kangaroo court is a judicial tribunal that blatantly dismisses recognized laws or justice. Years after his disfigurement, Harvey had plastic surgery on his face. The first person he unveiled it to was the Joker. After his plastic surgery, Harvey believed his dark side was gone for good. However, he kept suffering from delusions that Two-Face would return. Eventually, Harvey decided that he would scar his face and revert to his criminal life. He made this decision with the flip of a coin. Okay, let's look at Two-Face in the movies. In the 1989 film Batman, Harvey Dent is played by Billy D. Williams. Williams knew Dent became Two-Face in the comics, so he made it part of his contract so no one could play the part in future films but him. He was bought out of his contract when Tommy Lee Jones was cast as Two-Face in Batman Forever. Billy D. Williams was meant to reprise his role in Batman Returns, and the film would conclude with him becoming Two-Face, setting him up as a villain for the sequel. In Batman Forever, Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face. Weirdly, he was considered to play Bruce Wayne for the 1989 film Batman. Also, if Tommy Lee Jones did not accept the role, it would have gone to Al Pacino. Tommy Lee Jones hates comics and only accepted the role of Two-Face because it was his son's favorite character. Two-Face has two female associates called Sugar and Spice. These characters were made up for the film and are not associated with the comics. Drew Barrymore plays Sugar and Debbie Mazar plays Spice. Aaron Eckhart plays Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. Matt Damon was offered the role, but he turned it down due to scheduling conflicts. The surgeon who tries to fix Harvey Dent's face in the comics is called Eckhart. The director of The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan, had no intention of making a sequel. If he knew he'd make in The Dark Knight Rises, he would have had Two-Face as the main villain. Eckhart spoke to burn victims to understand the psychology of Two-Face. William Shatner provides the voice of Harvey Dent in the animated film Batman vs. Two-Face.
Bruce, I can't tell you how terribly sorry I am about all this.
You're weak, Dent. And now that you've outlived your usefulness to me, it's time I snuffed you out.
Billy D. Williams finally got the opportunity to play Two-Face in the 2017 film, The Lego Batman Movie. It's only for a few seconds, but it counts. And for the final fact, Batman became Two-Face after taking a Two-Face potion which somebody just had lying around. That's convenient. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want more supervillain facts, check out my books, 1000 Facts About Supervillains, Volume 1, 2, and 3. They're all available on Amazon on paperback and Kindle. And if you want me to do a video about any other supervillains in the future, let me know and I'll upload it as soon as I can.